Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Bod Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 294 on, is it July 13th or is it July 6th? I don't know.
It is Wednesday the 13th.
I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hello.
And Jimmy Tremmel.
Hey, guys.
So
Happy Wednesday the 13th.
Yeah. Are both of you back from vacation? Jimmy, you went to the Keys, right?
No.
That's
that was
next week.
Last week was a funeral that kind of.
Yeah. But I mean, you haven't gone yet, right?
No, that's going to be next month in August.
Oh, I was thinking it was
all
this
month
week or next week. Okay.
No, it's going to be a week.
Okay.
I'm back next month.
I'm back from Phoenix, and you're back from Hawaii.
Yes, I went to Hawaii, and it was great. And I came back.
And you had your Manapua.
I had Manapua. I did not get around to having Loco Moco, but I had it last time.
Okay, as long as you've had Loco Moco before.
And I came with a little magnet to put on my fridge. It says Loco Moco magnet. It's that cute. But I also came back and got sick. I don't know if I got sick in Hawaii or
you brought back you brought back company.
I brought back the vid. I'm currently quarantined in my bedroom, and it's very nice. They do pass door through the little slot underneath the door, the food through the slot of the door. Nobody else in the household is tested positive. Only me, so I'm the lucky one who is stuck in here.
Congratulations. You got an extra week of vacation. Yes, please.
I got a vacation after my vacation, which is in some ways really awesome because oftentimes after a vacation, I'm really exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
I am exhausted anyways because Monday I slept probably 18, maybe not quite 18 hours, but a lot. All of that 24-hour cycle. There was a lot of sleeping in there. But I've been getting better and better. I'm feeling and sounding a lot better today. No fever today, thank goodness. But I still have a few more days that I've been until I'm allowed to leave this room. So,
all right. I'm imagining that scene where the science people in ET, where the science people have the whole house wrapped in plastic and they're running around those tubes. You know what I'm talking about?
Not that far from the truth, kind of. So the night before. I was kind of feeling kind of crummy and I was kind of stuffy, and so I went downstairs to sit on. That day before, I showed you a picture of my project I was working in the backyard. We were all working in the backyard, and we were building this giant flower bed for my backyard and cleaning things up and getting things set up in there. So I was tired from that. I thought that was what made me feel achy and tired. So I sat on the lazy boy, and I fell asleep on it
because you were a lazy boy.
Because I was a very lazy boy at that moment, and I woke up in the morning and it felt worse. The funny thing is that I was feeling kind of bad before that morning, and I took a test and it was negative. But then woke up that morning, felt even worse, and said, "You know what? I'm just going to take another test because I feel even worse, and I'd hate to take it to work." That was Monday morning. Came up positive. My wife kind of walked away from me and said, "You get
so you heard it here." Matt's wife walked out on him,
and she pulled out the aerosol can and started spraying.
After all these years, all it took was he had to get sick. She left.
Well, no, and she's been telling me she wants her room back. So, but she'll wait until I'm done. She's like, I want my room back, do you? Like, yeah, I understand. But no, they've been treating me good. Oh, another thing from Hawaii. Have you ever had haichu?
Oh, the candy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
In Hawaii, they have special flavors.
Oh, I've never had the Hawaii flavors.
My favorite is Lilikoi, which is their version of passion fruit.
Okay.
My
All
favorite.
right.
Anyways, we bought a whole giant box of them. Brought back with
Of
us.
course you did.
Because I could get. Well, I won't be able to get them more until if I'm lucky.
You know where you can get those?
I can get them in lots of places, but not
Amazon.
that way. Well, yeah. Probably cheaper than an airplane ticket. Anyways, I'm surviving. I'm going to try to mute my coughs or anything like that. So if I apologize if I cough into anybody's ear. Also, I apologize for the low quality video for the video watchers, and I don't know how good the mic is on this for the audio listeners. So, but hopefully it's okay.
All right.
Okay.
Word. Why don't we just get right into it? What do we got first?
We have a ton of stories since we're kind of catching up. So let's go through some stuff quickly. Let's start with Amazon. Amazon's Freevee, which used to be known as IMDb TV, has been coming out onto various different platforms, and they've announced here that they are now finally landing onto the Android TV and the Google TV systems. This will be available right now for you to install on those systems so you can watch it immediately.
I'm confused by this one because I'm pretty sure it was already on Android TV. I know IMDb TV was. They may have just finally made the name change, but it was already there.
If there was any platform change, then there would have been a gap. Unless they've actually launched the new app. If it was just simply a rebranding of the existing app, as long as none of
all of my devices that have Freevee, I didn't download anything. All they did was just change the name and the logo on the app itself.
All right.
So yeah,
I do not know.
I don't know, but.
It's now there.
Now everybody can watch Bosch Legacy and Almost Paradise on their Android TVs.
I'm sure they just changed the splash pages.
But I seem to remember when I was in Fort Wayne back in June, I took my TiVo Stream 4K, which is an Android TV. I seem to remember it having Freevee already, but I might be wrong. So, I don't know.
Very cool. Apple TV users, you can now download and install the Xfinity Stream app. This is the Xfinity streaming app, which allows you to have access to the Comcast cable solution over the internet and have access it through your Apple TV. This does mean you will be able to get most of their channels, not all. Apparently, there's some legal agreements for some of the channels that don't allow the streaming. But as long as you have an active account through Xfinity, I don't know if this works outside of Xfinity's areas, but come on, that should be the case. God, let's get out of this darn cable thing, monopoly thing. But it will allow you to access those 250 live TV channels and many of the shows that are on video on demand through the Xfinity library. So. You can now watch it on. You can also install this platform, on the Apple TV Plus platform, the other way onto the various Xfinity boxes, as well as the Xfinity X1, the Xfinity Flex, and their X Class TV. So those are already happening as well.
Yeah.
They come on, Xfinity. This would make sense if they could sell their television service to their Spectrum people.
Exactly. And we've talked about the Xfinity Stream app before, that if they were making this available as an over-the-top service, it would be huge because it would be a competitor to like YouTube TV and the like. But Xfinity Stream, in order to get that, you must be a Comcast subscriber, which means you must live in a Comcast area. So like this, I couldn't use it even if I wanted to, because Comcast is not in my area. And so, yeah, for those 25 people that are actually using this app, maybe 5 of them have an Apple TV and they're really happy. But the thing is, most of these people already have the Xfinity set-top box in their house, and they're probably not really going to be using it. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I still think these cable companies are missing an opportunity here, right? If they were to just sell their on-demand service in an app,
yeah,
right, and just offer that, right, I think a lot of cord cutters would go for that.
And that's what I was talking. That's what I was talking about with over the top service. Yeah, that would be huge. But they've also got entanglements because they have agreements with all these companies that those agreements probably are not flexible enough to do that.
Yeah, they want you to have the live television so you can watch the commercials. That's what it is, right?
Well, yeah, and which is what the Xfinity Stream app would give you. But like I said, they've got these agreements with the companies that we've seen how difficult it's been for like YouTube TV and PlayStation View and all these different services, Philo, how difficult it's been to come to agreements with all these different channels to provide the live. Comcast already has these contracts, most of which are probably
older than me,
and and are already written for further into the future than we can see right now, and they don't currently allow that, and that would probably cause
lawyers
need
ruin
for
everything.
Renegotiation, and they're just not willing to do it.
Really, they ruin everything. Lawyers,
but yeah. Who knows? But yeah, if you're an Apple TV user and also an Xfinity user, congratulations.
Here's a cool update. If you have a SmartThings lighting system and Philips Hue lights, you can set it up so that it will connect to your music solution. And I'm actually trying to read an article which music system solutions it works with. But you can make it so it syncs up to your music. So if you have some heavy beat music, you can have your lights pulsing to your heavy your tones, and you can have a nice some kind of wavy sound going on for your best sound. This allows you with looks like that they're getting access specifically to the Samsung devices to have this support in here. So. I always like this idea of having interactive lighting to go with either your TVs or your sound systems. I always thought that those were pretty cool. I also can imagine that I would get tired of it and actually want to turn it off every once in a while. So if it could be like off by default and then turn on when I want it, I think that's what this section meant. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like as part of this that SmartThings is going to gain support for Android 13, which is good, and One UI 5.0.
That's Samsung's UI, isn't it?
Is that? Oh, I thought that was the OnePlus UI.
Maybe you're right. It might be OnePlus.
Yeah, I think that's OnePlus. So, yeah, it says it's timed perfectly with some new hardware, and then additionally, so
Samsung owns One UI.
Oh, okay.
It is Samsung's new interface. They call it the One UI.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is slightly better than the Zero UI they had before. So
it's better than what did they used to call it, where they Samsungified everything and it looked nothing like Android, and I hated it. I hated that overlay. I don't remember what they used to call it. So
One UI 4.1 update.
That's
One UI or two UI, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
No UI.
Oh, right.
DUI.
Right.
DUI. No. Facebook And Meta, they are working on making it so it is able to do translations within their apps like Facebook and Instagram very easily, very universally. Uh, no Language Left Behind is a horrible name for it, uh, but the No Language Left Behind 200 project is designed to make it so that everything that they want to be able to make it so everybody can access everybody else's, no matter what language they're using. I am seeing here, is this actually going to be for like a live translate, or is this like for if you see somebody else's post and you can just instantly get the change so it's to your native language?
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Not clear from the posts, but that's okay. Either way, knowing this being Facebook, it's going to be okay, but not stellar. There's going to be other products that are going to do it better. Generally, that's how Facebook tends to do a lot of
Yeah. I mean, this is something that if they were willing to reach out and work with Google
or
they,
Microsoft's
or
translation
Microsoft,
people
this
are
could be
excellent.
implemented to a
Right.
very, very high degree.
My experience is the Google guys have the breadth of all the languages, while Microsoft has a slightly better
Model of each. Yeah.
the voice model is
Mhm.
really dang good. So
So if I type a post in German, it would translate it to English for anybody who had
That's-
English as their setting on their computer.
that's the idea.
Theoretically, yes.
Okay.
It's cool. I'm more for this. Yes, and I can already do this in my browser. So
Mhm.
thanks Facebook. We appreciate you.
Well, I mean, so people can stop holding their phones up to their monitor using the Google Translate thing to read it back to.
Oh, that's not very nice. Okay.
Okay.
Samsung has launched a new smart TV hub. This new smart TV hub is cool because it integrates pretty much all the streaming platforms for gaming. That means we are going to be seeing Stadia. We're going to see Xbox streaming, and we're going to see GeForce Now streaming, all integrated directly into your TV. Which means that these platforms, as long as they support the Xbox stream, the Samsung Smart TV hub that's built into your device, will be able to, sans any console, play these streaming games and have your Bluetooth controller connect directly to it in order to play your games. They announced that this will be on many of their new popular TV models, starting. Oh, what is it? Did it already start this year or next year? I do not see the dates on here for this
Well,
one.
it just says yeah, I don't
Numerous.
think any specific dates.
This is I understand that there was actually a big announcement with this, and I did not watch it. But supposedly this is their new big push of saying, hey, you get one of our TVs and you want to stream your games, you can do it right from the TV. You don't need to get any special device for it. Now, what do we think about that? Have we ever really enjoyed those built into your TV apps?
No.
I've never used any.
Never.
But this
Never.
this will be exciting for somebody. Somebody, probably a kid, where they already have one of these TVs in the house and their parents aren't willing to buy them other hardware.
So I am the exception. I actually definitely want this kind of thing built into my TV.
Sure.
But the only thing I want out of it is the Roku, because I know the Roku is a really simplified interface and it works well with the built-in TVs. I have no problem with it. I have this crappy TV right here with a really slow processor with the built-in Roku. It's so slow that sometimes it doesn't even sync up the words to your lips. You have to reboot it. You get past that, it is slow. But that's fine. It's still better than, it's fine. But I don't want it to do anything fancy. So the Roku is actually great for that. Streaming your games. I mean, I love the idea, but I really this is exactly the thing that will disappear, will fall off the list first for support because some new codec comes out somewhere and
Yeah.
it's not supported by your TV. So yeah, this is strict. This is
Well, they had to find a way to make their TVs obsolete faster because people aren't buying TVs fast enough anymore.
Yeah. It comes down to, you want to buy a TV every 7 years or a little streaming box every 7 years.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, they're mad that I'm still using my my plasma 10 years later. 12 years later.
They're mad. Why would they be mad?
Because they want to be selling me a new TV every couple years.
Mm-mm. That's your space heater. Don't throw that stuff.
Oh no, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just saying these companies are mad that I'm still using my
you're
dumb
fine.
monitor 12 years later.
It's fine. Those other people with lots of money to burn can buy new TVs. That's fine. All right. Google Stadia has had a couple announcements, but the big one here is the fact that they are coming to Mexico. If you have been in Mexico and you've been watching all those these people say that how much they're having fun playing all these games and thinking to yourself, man, I can't play these games because I don't have any consoles down here. Or maybe you do. Maybe you have some good consoles that that didn't get to the States, which is great. Good for you. But if you want to play with Stadia on there, they're actually setting up new data centers and to be local to the Mexican populations, so that you will be able to be on their servers and be connected and play on those very soon. So when is this launch according to that?
It didn't say, it just said later this year.
Soon, later this year. They are also looking to expand to other areas, including Austria, Czechia, Hungary, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, and Switzerland soon. So this is good.
So is this like one of those wordings like killer bees are coming to America? Remember, we heard that for 20 years, and then
we still get those and we burn them.
But. Or sorry, Girls Gone Wild is gonna appear in in whatever town. It's kind of a warning.
I do. Do you remember the skits from the original Saturday Night Live, The Killer Bees?
Yeah.
Were was that the one with the actual letter B's running around?
No, they dressed up in bee.
They would be costumes. Yeah. All right. No, I'm glad to see Stadia expanding to other countries. This article calls it a meaningful sign of life, jumping on the Google that Stadia's been in trouble for a while bandwagon.
This is 9 to 5 Google. Them and Android Police have both been very like, Google's a failure. They're like, no, it's not. It's actually doing really well.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they do make a good point that there haven't been a lot of major releases.
They're working to get 100 games this year, which is impressive.
But yeah, like what they were saying, and is there haven't been a lot of major air quote releases, and that many of the new sequels to stuff that's already on the platform hasn't appeared on the platform. And yes, that it may be a downside, but that is not a failure of the platform. That is a failure of agreements with the property owner or the content owner. That doesn't mean that the platform is a failure. It doesn't mean that the platform isn't used or doesn't work. That just means business people need to do business better. That's all. So.
Yep.
Word.
I totally spelled that wrong. Sorry. Okay. ARM, the guys who design many of the chips that you see in your cell phones.
Arms?
Yes. No, those are hands.
No, these right here. My arms.
Yeah. Well, you were doing this. So
yeah, but I'm trying to get my arms in. Okay. There's bars and microphones and stuff.
No, ARM has announced newer versions of their GPUs, which are a section of their built-in integrated those chipsets. And what they are doing that's exciting here, announced here, is that they are announcing that they are getting hardware acceleration for ray tracing built directly into the GPUs for future products. The one in particular is called the Immortalis, which is of course a great name for anything
For
that's
something
game-related.
that is very limited in its life expectancy.
Yeah, but they will keep coming out with new versions, right? So it will be with us in perpetuality. So it's immortality.
It'll be forever. Okay.
Yeah, is the model is coming with the first version of ray tracing. Ray tracing is of course known for as of recent been coming up in higher end NVIDIA chips, graphics processors, and also with some ray tracing is built into the recent high end AMD graphics processors, making reflections extra more special. And if they wanted to, they could ray trace entire scenes, but that takes way more power than they could than what they tend to do now. It's the truth is ray tracing does make it look better, but not significantly better.
Yeah. Not at the performance cost.
Right.
It's
So
I would be more impressed if ray tracing was just like adding a outline of Ray Romano in the back of stuff. Like you trace
different kind of
just a tracing of Ray in the back.
It's hardware. It's hardware in there.
And then you
can only do Ray.
you always have to look for it, kind of like Where's Waldo. I'd be down for that.
For me, this is a sign that this technology is getting super cheap and it's going to become more viable. If it's getting built into phone chips, that means this is something that not just your big boys can do sooner or later. And give it 10 years, this is going to be all
Arms a big boy now.
Yeah, no, in 10 years, just like we were thinking that, full screen anti-aliasing was something that just was only for the big boys. It's in your phones now.
I never liked that TV show, but I don't know if I would ever say I was anti-alias.
I only watched like the first two seasons.
I only saw like a couple episodes. So that's what I was saying. I don't think I could say I was anti.
Very cool. Okay, Apple is making a change to CarPlay. What they're doing is they're making it so that when you pull up to the gas station, supportive of gas station, you will be able to turn to your Apple CarPlay and press a button on the dashboard in order to pay for your gas. I don't know how this is going to work. You're supposed to turn off your car to pump your gas, right? So
yeah,
there's that problem.
So you'd have to turn off your car, but not open the door because most cars stay on.
It's true.
So you got to remember not to open the door. Then you have to be at a gas station that supports it.
So you have to crawl out your window.
And then already know what pump you're going to be at.
So I don't know, but my guess is that what this will do is that you pull up to a compatible place.
Yeah.
It detects which one you're in. You pump your gas generally. You get back in your car, and its pump is saying, "Please pay here," or a compatible CarPlay device. And as soon as you turn your car back on, you have a button that says, "Click."
I haven't seen a place that lets you pump before you pay in like 20 years.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
But that's what I'm saying. Is number one, okay, yes, RF will work, but how do you know that it's picking up the correct side of the pump? Most of the time, the pumps aren't clearly labeled. So, but I'm just saying that I don't get this.
I mean, can't you use like Apple Pay already at the pump? I mean, I can't.
Most of them. Yeah, and I don't think that most of these companies, gas station companies, are going to be motivated to upgrade all of their pumps across the country to support this feature.
Yeah, they do actually. I think there is a regulation. They do have to replace the pumps after so many years.
Yes, but
So there could be by attrition. You could
they
eventually get
don't
it resolved with it.
necessarily. But like I'm saying,
No,
in order for this to be useful,
it's
they would
probably a
have
huge
to
investment.
roll it out and replace every single
Uh,
pump now.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, so it's actually Sinclair, the energy company Sinclair that's doing this, right?
Okay. So that's their thing.
I haven't
Okay.
seen a Sinclair. Actually, my daughter and I were talking about this recently that I
Yeah.
haven't seen a Sinclair station in
They haven't done here in
forever.
Florida. But even the ones here are kind of spread out. There's not that many. But you do see them in Florida down here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't.
It'll be interesting to see how it works, I guess.
I never use the find a gas station feature, let alone am I going to use the pay at the gas station feature.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would say just use Apple.
I'm
Pay.
anticipating horror stories where people pull up and they think, "Oh, I'm at pump 13." So they go ahead and authorize for pump 13. Turns out they're at 18 and somebody else is pumping their gas for free.
Yep.
Yeah, I anticipate those stories.
All this will be worked out after many years of figuring it out.
And somebody's like, "Thanks for the free gas," as they fire up their Android Auto and drive away.
My guess is there'll be one pump that has this feature enabled so that you can't have that happen.
And then you'll have like a line of people
of
that
Teslas.
refuse to get out of there. Of Teslas get at the gas station?
Well, yeah, good point. Never mind. You're right.
That would be funny.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
It would really be funny to see.
But I mean, I would love to
gas in a
see
Tesla,
this
wouldn't
feature
it?
in a Tesla. You can pay for your gas.
It's a charity mode.
No, people that own
drive by a gas station,
See,
press a pay button.
that right there is the oxymoron, because everyone knows that people that drive Teslas aren't into charity. Moving on.
All right. NVIDIA has recently released a new update for their Shield platforms. I need to see if they updated mine. They probably did, because I bet you that they're still updating it. The new NVIDIA Shield Experience Update 9.1's biggest feature is called, I don't know what it's called, but it's done to not wake up your house. It will actually be able to do that automatic voice modulation of the audio, so that those quiet scenes are loud enough that you can hear and understand people, but those loud scenes are not so loud that they wake up everybody in the household. Yes.
So the thing that Roku's been doing since we started the show.
And other various TVs have had this feature as well for a long time.
It's volume leveling is
Yeah.
the basic term, but yeah.
So night listening is what they call it. So they also said that they're got a new automatic low latency mode, which means if it detects that your TV can enable low latency through the HDMI port it's plugged into, it will automatically detect that you're going to play a game and set your TV in low latency mode automatically. That's cool. We need more of that as well. I think that's a wonderful thing. So automatic low latency mode for your TV. Automatically when you are trying to bring up a game means less delay when you're playing, whether that be in a built-in game on your Android TV, or if you're streaming something through it, whether it be GeForce Now or one of the other streaming platforms like Stadia or Xbox.
All right.
Cool stuff.
Yes.
If you were hoping that you could get SpaceX in your car, that might happen now. Looks like the FCC has given the A-OK to SpaceX to provide satellite internet through their Starlink platform to your vehicle. I have no idea what this will end up looking like. Maybe it's going to be a giant dish on the back of your SUV. Probably not.
They're gonna
but
they're gonna repurpose all of those XM antennas that are out there that nobody's using.
That makes sense. But no, that means that they will make it so you will be able to get your internet connection even while you are going 75 miles an hour down the highway. So very cool
You,
stuff.
you know, one of the guys on my team has this now. He has the Starlink
Yep.
at home. Yeah, of course, that replaces his 3 megabits download DSL line that he had, right? Because he lives out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And now he's got his Starlink. And I asked him, I said, so what are you averaging on speed now? And he said about 80 megasecond, which is great if you're coming from 3 megabits.
And for most people, that is more than adequate.
Yeah.
You need about between 10 and 20 for everyday streaming.
Yeah, like isn't that HD streaming?
Like HD streaming.
HD,
and then
maybe you might need a little more than that for 4K.
Yeah, but
not a lot more, really.
Yeah, so 80.
Yeah, Wabbit wants to know: did you happen to ask how fast the upspeed was?
Was what now?
Or
his uplink speed.
Uplink.
His upspeed.
Uplink. It was quite a bit less. It was like, I think he says maybe right around 30 meg.
That's about what I have on average. Yeah, that's great.
That's nothing. That's fine.
That's normal for people with cable. So
right.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad. So now it looks like you'll be able to do it in your car. Prices, I don't think they've been announced yet. They did say that the people who are doing the version where they are doing the where they're traveling with able to go outside their normal zones, is got a premium for those people. So when you go snowbirding or camping, you can take your dish with you. And they have a premium one that's $500 a month still. I wonder if you'll get this included with that service. That would be nice.
I think that's the business one, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's the higher end, higher speed service for people who intend to purchase the best thing, no matter what.
It's for your party bus.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds really good. I want a party bus.
You think you want a party bus until you start dealing with the people that rent
I don't want. I didn't say I wanted the
buses.
people. No, I'd make a camper out of it. That's what I do.
Okay.
Twitch, it's got a new update. It's letting you do a preview of channels without having to watch that silly first roll of ads that comes with them. What it does is it's a feature that they're A/B testing called Channel Switcher. Not everybody has access to this. If you're very lucky, you might be able to see this on Twitch right now. But allows you to just basically shows you random channels and lets you see about a minute preview of it before it switches automatically to another random channel. But that's enough time generally for you to understand what the channel's about. And maybe you'd be interested in watching it. And if you click into it, you would get your ad as expected. But you don't have to go channel surfing and watching an ad every time you want to check a channel out. So I think this is a pretty cool idea. Well, we'll see if this becomes a more widespread feature of Twitch in the future. But personally, I'm hoping that it's something that one way or another evolves into letting people check out channels without having to see an ad every freaking 2 minutes. That's good.
Cool.
All right. Netflix is using a new audio system from a company called Ambio. I know nothing about Ambio. It's a 2-channel spatial audio system. And apparently it allows you to try to make a cool spatial audio solution with only 2 sound channels. Reminds me very much of Aerial Vortex in that idea. So this means that with any stereo system like laptops or headphones, it will try to give you that full 3D sounding solution. And it looks like they are showing off this tech in the most recent season of Stranger Things. And Ambio is technology from the company Sennheiser, so they tend to know what to do.
I have a question. So first off, when I saw this story, I thought it said amiibo. Remember the amiibos?
Uh-huh.
The other thing, I'm kind of looking at this picture. Did 11 become a suicide bomber?
Yeah,
looks like she's wearing like plastic explosives,
right?
ready to run into a building full of small children and
You've only seen season 1, right?
No, I'm watching the current season.
Okay, well,
I'm just saying that thing she's wearing.
I could tell you what it is, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody in case they haven't seen more than season. If they haven't seen more than season 1.
Yeah.
No, they totally gave her a suicide bomber vest.
Sure looks like one. Those look like they're full of C4. You're right. Yeah. MetaQuest is, of course, the guys from Facebook who bought the Oculus people. They have decided that they are going to make it so you do not need to use your Facebook login to get into the MetaQuest system anymore. Hooray! We've been asking for this for a while because we're I don't know.
Well, it was last year. Yeah, it was last year that they said that all of the pre-Facebook devices were going to get the Netflix login, and everybody flipped out. And they've had a big problem with adoption because people like me refuse to use their service because I am not signing in with Facebook.
And you're not alone. I am similarly uninterested in an Oculus for the sole purpose of I have to do a Facebook login.
Yep.
No, thank you.
And it's been so big that it has affected their adoption, which is affecting the stock price, which is affecting everything. So it's in their best interest to finally say, fine. I don't know how soon. You'll have to create a Meta account to use certain things, but yeah. But see, there you go. There's the catch. You don't need a Facebook login. You need a Meta login.
Yeah, good point. It's the same thing. I know.
But I don't know. If they eliminate those altogether, I might consider one of the Meta headsets, but one of the cheaper ones.
I'm waiting to see what competition comes up. That being said, the Meta Quest 2 is tempting. It really was. I really am interested in it. I don't know how much I would use a VR solution, but it does sound like a lot of fun. I think I will wait. I'm perfectly fine waiting in this case to see how this matures and what happens from here. I also tend to like the commodity, less expensive solution that is super popular. Yeah. So because I don't want to be the early adopter because
it's good for about 10 minutes.
Well, or longer, depends. Some people they can do it for a lot longer.
Yeah, no, I love it. I could sit and play iRacing for hours. We know some people don't like it. For a lot of us, it's great. But I don't have the headset because number one, my PC, my graphics card can't support a decent headset, and I could do it with one of the Meta wireless headsets, but I refuse to do the Facebook login. So that this opens up potential for me.
All right. Well, okay. We already knew most of this, but it's coming from an official source. NFL is going to be launching their NFL Plus service before the start of the 2022 football season. This is coming from Roger Goodell, who is the commissioner of the NFL. So he said it himself. He did not give us any other relevant information like pricing or exact dates or what platforms it might be available on. But it is from basically as high up as it can go from the NFL. It's coming. Also, NFL Sunday Ticket will likely be moving to a streaming platform as well. So you football fans, get ready for some foosball.
Are you ready?
It also says in the article that the Sports Business Journal that said it might cost $5 a month. If that's the case, I'm in.
That's everybody would buy it for $5 a month. There wouldn't be anybody out there who would not spend. Yeah, I don't even like football, but I might spend $5 a month on that. Yeah. Just so when I have somebody come over and say, "Do you have NFL Plus?" Oh yeah, we have it. That's fine. Okay. That's why I would spend that. The convenience of having people come over and they want to watch football. That'd be great. I don't know. Good. If it's that cheap, that's great. I kind of doubt it, quite frankly. Sony announced a new line of their portable speakers. They are all set up so they are able to handle a lot new situations, including getting wet. That's right. You're going to be able to get some of these guys in the water or next to the pool. These are able to get this IP67 rating for getting for weather, and they will be able to handle better phone calls as well. Looks like another thing they're going to be able to do. So you will be able to use these speakers in more situations, and they range in prices from about I don't know, all the way down to like $200 to now. So there's probably a Sony speaker that you might be interested in available now or available soon.
Seems a little late because pretty much every one of their competitors was already showing them floating in a pool like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and nowadays your $99 Bluetooth speaker is like amazing for that. You're thinking to yourself, this little tiny thing is making that much sound, and it's that small and cheap, and some people buy the Sony name though.
I just feel like something's off, or this article must have missed the mark on something, because this isn't news. This is like, I want to say all of the Sony stuff was already like pool capable, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't know. It did say it's better. It's got better sound for your like calls,
right?
Like, because that's a thing that people typically do is take calls on their Bluetooth speaker.
Well, when you want everybody to hear
it. When you want everybody to hear, you do it in your car.
Yeah.
Because your car acts like a speaker, and you don't realize that everybody around you
can hear.
Your
you have your speakers turned up way too loud. If that's the case, man.
Could you imagine somebody having one of these in their shopping cart as a grocery shopping?
I don't have to imagine
a phone call there.
I don't. Oh, the phone call, but I don't have to imagine someone with one of these sound bars or the wireless speakers in their shopping cart as they're walking around a store. Usually, it's very, very, very inappropriate. That whatever it's blasting, and you can't say anything because if you even open your mouth, you will be attacked by an entire mob of people on Twitter for your racial indifference. So,
well, back in the day, it was an '80s boombox. Somebody walking,
yeah,
being loud, and you just say, "Hey, dude, turn it down, or turn it off, or get out."
Mm-hmm.
So
your choice.
Isn't there? I'm sure there's a gadget out there on Reddit somewhere that you can probably put together yourself that would jam the Bluetooth.
A pocket EMP.
Yes.
Directed. So it doesn't take out the entire store. You can direct it at the thing that you want to EMP.
Well, I actually like the idea of a Bluetooth jammer. That's actually something that would make a lot of sense.
Actually, I think that's what these things are called, because you jam out.
Or you could go the other way and just wear your earbuds inside the store, I guess, and that way you listen to your podcast or whatever, and stuff like that doesn't bother you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Until you get to the register, I guess.
All right. So the joke is, of course, there have been many devices that have come out. And these devices, are pretty cool because they can do anything from being a baby monitor to being maybe a fancy cooktop to being a weird, cool display on your mirror for, when you're, brushing your teeth or something like that. Or maybe it's your watch or something else. And the question always comes up that I think is wrong is, can it play Doom? And the answer generally is yes. Pretty much everything out there can play Doom. They pretty much ported that game to everything. It's pretty impressive what can play Doom. But question came down to, but can Doom play Doom? Sorry, this is just a fun article where somebody went ahead and got into the Doom source code for Doom 2, updated it with some of the code from Doom, basically inserted the code from Doom 1 into the game, so it would be able to update a texture within the Doom 2 game. The textures, of course, are what would be on the wall or a floor, and so by making it so you could update the texture, they were able to make it so you could actually show the screen of Doom 1 from within Doom 2. Yes, you can play Doom within Doom.
You know what else you can play Doom? What game you can play Doom inside of?
What?
That Czech serial video game from the late 90s.
I think it was based off the Doom engine.
It was, but the point was that so they reskinned it for the Czechs game, but they left the original Doom maps.
Nice.
So if you were smart enough, you could go play those maps. The characters
were all changed.
You couldn't see them because they didn't map the character. But if you'd played Doom enough and you knew pretty much where they were, you can still play the game because they're still firing at you. You just can't see them.
Right.
But yes, you can play Doom inside the Czechs game.
That's awesome. I love seeing this stuff because Doom itself was but Wolfenstein 3D and Doom after it were both a huge push into the design of these games in order to make a 3D representation work on a non-3D accelerated system. It was huge in this day, which is part of the reason why it is so cool to see it running on so many.
I would say Doom was the Pac-Man of
the 90s.
No, of 3D first-person gaming.
Okay, fair enough. I like
Whereas,
that.
like, Pac-Man was the game that just made
arcade game.
Was
it's not exactly a platformer, but it was the main.
But
game.
It was the epitome of gaming. It was the single thing, the Kleenex that everybody knows.
A lot of people would argue that Miss Pac-Man was the superior thing to Pac-Man. But Pac-Man came first, so Doom 2, or maybe Doom 2.
So you say Doom is the Miss Pac-Man to Wolfenstein's Pac-Man?
Sure, that would make sense to me. Yeah.
We're all doomed.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so this story came across my feed, and I thought it was so cool. Bluetooth has been working on a new standard to come out for various headphones. The new standard for it is called Bluetooth LE audio. Now, Bluetooth LE has been around for a while. Bluetooth LE is the low energy format of Bluetooth, which uses a lot less power in order to be able to use your standard Bluetooth items. Original Bluetooth was pretty power hungry and was way too easy to modify to go longer ranges and to be totally not secure. Bluetooth LE was one of the many iterations to make it better. The Bluetooth LE audio is able to do a couple of cool things to it that makes it very unique. First of all, one of the coolest things about it is it allows you to connect multiple devices, audio devices, to a single source. Since it's already broadcasting out the audio, it makes perfect sense for multiple things to be able to connect to that one source. So that means, hey, you have somebody else who wants to listen into the thing you're watching right now. For me to listen to my wireless system downstairs, I have a special box that I have connected with 2 Bluetooth radios and 2 headphones that I can connect to it for a Bluetooth audio solution for watching my TV without disturbing anybody else in the house. Very cool. With this new piece of technology, all you need is the one Bluetooth LE audio capable emitter, and then anything that was Bluetooth LE audio capable, we will be able to connect to it and listen to it without any problems.
This makes me hopeful because 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago, we were promised that HDMI was dead.
Really?
And Bluetooth was the future. Bluetooth connectivity, wireless connectivity via Bluetooth between devices like your TV and your DVD player and whatnot, that was the future.
I don't know who promised you that, but it was a bad promise.
I mean, that was back then. That was what they were pushing at like CES and stuff.
Wires win all the time. Sorry, man.
But this is a step in that direction because Bluetooth LE was a huge improvement for anybody that used Bluetooth regularly because your devices didn't die immediately and it was much more robust. Multiple people being able to share, that does make a lot of sense as long as you're not sending two-way communication.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So like if but that's why I was saying for this would for like audio sources in your house and whatnot.
Right.
This is great. Go to multiple speakers. Go ahead.
So they also have announced a technology called Auracast. Auracast is the equivalent for Bluetooth as for browsing for your Wi-Fi connections with your Wi-Fi. So when you open up your Wi-Fi and you see a list of various connections of various available wireless connections, those are you were able to select from those that you wanted to connect to. Auracast is similar in the fact that, hey, here's a list of available things you can connect your Bluetooth audio to. You may connect to one or multiple of these, and they will give it. The example picture they give here is for an airport, where you would be able to, with an Auracast-enabled headphones, connect to the general airport announcements, maybe your specific gate, and maybe your laptop that's sitting next to you. So you would be able to hear, A, your gate announcements, B, maybe you don't want to hear the general announcements because every 5 minutes they tell you that all bags must be checked, and if not, they will be destroyed. Yes, they destroy them now.
Yes.
And also listen to your laptop's audio because you're playing a game. That's cool. And be able to connect to multiple things and be able to choose them as needed and wanted on there. These are also password protected, and so you can make it so nobody can connect to yours without your connection without a proper password.
Okay.
Well,
No. I was saying that nobody. Somebody wants to.
I'm sorry. That word "nobody" means nobody should.
Yeah. Okay.
Should be able to.
Should.
Yeah. Bluetooth is famous for not being the most secure platform. I know. But also the other thing that I forgot to mention earlier is the Bluetooth LE. LE stands for lower energy. They actually have by using these audio codecs, they are going to be able to increase audio quality or maintain audio quality. And either way, also be able to increase the battery life of your Bluetooth battery devices, because it just will take much less power to send or receive the transmission, and the codec apparently is also lower power. It takes lower power to encode decode as well. So very cool stuff.
I always thought that it stood for LE. I mean, limited edition.
No. Man, there's been a lot of limited editions out there. That's all I gotta say. No, this is cool. They were trying to get this out by 2020. Due to the pandemic, they had to take extra time to make sure it's gone right. Quite frankly, for me, I think take your time and get it done right is the right way to go. It's beginning to come out now. We'll start seeing devices with this compatibility later this year, and probably widespread adoption of this platform next year. I cannot wait.
I now understand the Renault Le Car, because those were very low energy.
Yeah.
It now makes sense. Jimmy probably remembers Le Car.
Oh, I do. I remember that commercial.
It's an LE car. So, yep. Okay. We got anything else?
One last story. Netflix. Netflix has been saying that they are interested in getting into an ad-supported subscription model for people to connect because again they were losing subscribers because they have hit the max of the number of subscribers available to them, and they now do not know how else to get more subscribers and keep their numbers from going up. So in order to make this a transition to a ads supported subscription model. They are teaming up with Microsoft to make this happen. They're going to use their technology and their possibly their ad platforms in order to make it so you can log in and able to watch their ads and use their ad platform. Which to me, I don't know how I feel about that, quite frankly. I don't know. Microsoft does do a good job with a lot of their back end stuff. So
yeah, I mean,
if they're only on the back end, it'll be fine.
I don't think of Microsoft as on the advertising side. So if Microsoft is just providing like the
subscriptions, they're definitely providing a platform subscription.
So I mean, it's just basically running on Azure or whatever.
It's possible that, but they are also using their technology in order to provide know how to provide the ads in the system. I don't know how it's going to work, so I don't know. It could be that they are actually getting into the ad game and they beat out big names like Facebook and Google to get here. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the first thing that comes to mind when Netflix says we're looking to another company to help with the ad side, the first thing I think is Google,
right.
Which I don't know. I don't know of any beef between Netflix and Google.
As far as I know, they're happy with each other.
Exactly. So that's why I'm kind of surprised that it went the Microsoft way.
Well,
because I don't think of Microsoft when I think of the ad sales.
True.
The like infrastructure, sure. I could see that. If they're, gonna roll their own ads, they just needed a way to store and deliver them, then okay, yeah.
Microsoft. So Netflix said it selected Microsoft for the tech giant's proven reliability to support its customers. Microsoft offered the flexibility to innovate over time in both the technology and sales side, as well as a strong privacy protection for our members, said Netflix Chief Operating Officer Greg Peters, directly from the Engadget story. So Microsoft came to them with a portfolio and said, "Here's what we can do, and here's our price." And Netflix said, "Okay."
In reality, they came and said, "Hey, you can either partner with us, or you can pay for each one of those Windows 11 licenses that your employees are using."
Oh.
I'm kind of with Clyde on this one. I'm trying to rack my mind and think, okay, what's the great Microsoft commercial that I've ever seen?
But that's what I'm saying is if they're just providing the infrastructure via Azure or whatever, that's a Microsoft thing that makes perfect sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. But but them being the ad company providing the ad content. I can't think of one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure they do, right? I mean, they're a big company, right? I mean, I'm sure they do it at some scale, right?
So I want to say there's one thing that makes me laugh. It said from Officer Greg Peters. It says not mentioned is the fact that Microsoft doesn't operate a competitive streaming service. Is that a dig at their failure with Mixer and the Xbox TV and all the other failed Microsoft streaming things?
Well, all those are not directly Netflix competitors, so oftentimes.
But the Xbox TV that they touted when they put out the Xbox One.
Yep.
That was supposed to be, but it failed and they killed it.
So no, it did not have any of its own shows. It only had its pass through. I know this because I have an Xbox.
Well, no. But you remember is when during the announcement they were doing their own shows. That's where the Halo show was supposed to be. That we're finally getting now. They were doing a bunch of stuff. That's what they promised, and it ended up being an absolute going crazy and then never happened.
I don't remember that specifically. I do remember they talked about we're working on a Halo show, and I bet you they mentioned it. Maybe we'll release it on our own platform, but I don't think it ever got more than the talking stage of a possibility.
Yeah.
And so they never had a platform that actually was a direct competitor with Netflix. And yeah, you're right in saying this because Netflix and all companies tend to have memories of you used to be our competitor. We won't work with you. That happens a lot.
Oh, no, I wasn't doing that. I was just saying that Microsoft has tried. And in that Xbox thing, they tried to do it. They failed. It never became.
Exactly.
That's why I was asking, was this a dig at Microsoft saying that they don't operate a competing service?
I think it's the other way. I think it's a plus from Netflix to say, yeah, they're definitely not going to end up being.
I was just thinking from the standpoint of the person that wrote this article. They
Fair enough.
They put that in there as a dig.
Yeah, you're looking at it one way. I'm looking at another, and yes, they completely changed that picture, doesn't it?
All right. Well, you know what doesn't matter, no matter which way you look at it.
A sphere.
Okay. Well,
a perfect sphere.
As long as it's non-reflective. Because if it is reflective, then it will change depending on the way you look at it.
That's fair. Also, unless it's in 4 dimensions, and then it could totally be different.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually talking about the people out there that actually care about us enough that they have become supporters via Patreon, giving us their hard-earned monies.
Our patrons or spheres?
The patrons, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you are currently a supporter of this show, you are awesome. We love you, and we are grateful that you were born. Because if you hadn't been born, you wouldn't be able to support us now. So if you yourself have been born and you would like to be a supporter, you can head on over to patreon.com/thevodsquad. If you're somehow watching this now and
you haven't been born yet?
Been born,
we'd still love to hear from you.
Congratulations. We don't expect you to support us, but we would love to know how.
Or if you've been reborn.
Oh,
sure. Yeah. We'll take them too.
Yes. But yeah, patreon.com/thevodsquad. Head over there now. We don't ask for much. Actually, we don't ask for anything. So nope. Everything helps. Okay, so we need to get into the rants and raves, right? Is that what we're doing?
I think so.
Rants, raves, what do we got?
Yeah.
Aside from the obvious.
Vacation is wonderful. I love vacations. Extended vacations are interesting. So, yeah. I got to go out and see Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh.
That was one of the things that we did the day after we got back, because we went to go see that. It's funny. Not as good as Thor 3 Ragnarok. Not as good, but still very funny, very good, very fun.
It's Taika Waititi at his
It's Taika Waititi. He is definitely. It's definitely Taika Waititi, and it is funny, and it is fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. I still think Ragnarok was the better film of the two. But one of my favorite things that I can't remember, I think Taika introduced, was the what's the other Hemsworth brother and Matt Damon?
Liam.
Liam Hemsworth and Matt Damon and Sam Neill show up in number 3 as actors acting out what happened in Thor 2. The same thing happens in this movie where those actors show up. Same people.
All right.
Plus one more show up and continue that joke. And I'm sorry, that was a part in the movie where I laughed very loudly in the theater and enjoyed that. So
let me ask, the thing that I was most afraid of is that the trailer gave away all the funny stuff.
Okay.
Is that the case?
No, not all of it.
But most of it.
I'd say a good portion of it.
Okay.
But there were definitely some loud moments where it was like, oh, that's good. That was fun. So yes, I would recommend still going and seeing it. You can wait, especially since now it's 45 days until it makes it to Disney Plus. You can wait if you want, but it's definitely we can go watch.
I waited to see Bob's Burgers, the thing that I was actually super excited about.
Yeah.
I waited, so I'll definitely be waiting to see that.
Okay. Fair enough. Other than that, yeah, go to Hawaii. It's awesome if you get a chance. Great place to visit.
Yeah. Go for a week, no more. After a week, you start to go crazy, and yeah.
Okay. I've never been there longer than a week, so we'll see.
You're lucky. Jimmy, what you got? Anything?
Yeah. Thank you, Clyde. Almost Paradise was a good show. I watched that one, finished it up, and really enjoyed that one. I mean, it's like a lot of things, not the greatest show you'll ever watch, right? But that was a good recommendation you made a couple of weeks ago. I watched it and really enjoyed it.
I figured you'd like it. And like I said, it was almost great.
Yeah.
You said it wasn't the greatest. It had the potential to be. There was just a few things that I just attribute it to laziness. But yeah, that show could have been amazing.
Yeah, and you made a point, I think a couple of weeks ago, they had a similar feel to Burn Notice, which is spot on, right? In my opinion, I think Burn Notice was better, right, than this show. But you're right. It had the potential to be as good as Burn Notice, right? No doubt about it. Still, all that aside, right? It still was an entertaining show. I enjoyed it, and yeah, if you haven't watched that one, watch that one. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about is I finished Strange New Worlds. That's the new show for the new Star Trek show starring Commander Pike. Right, he was the captain of the Enterprise before Captain Kirk. And if you're a Star Trek fan, as I am, especially the original series, it's almost a must watch, right? To watch this. If you're a fan of the original series, as I am, then you really have to go out and watch this one. It was really well done. They hold true to the original story. I'm not going to give anything away, but if you were a fan of the original series and have ever watched the original series, plenty of references, and if you enjoyed that one, then you'll certainly enjoy this season as well.
I am looking forward to watching that series, but I haven't been waiting to watch it with my wife. So
I can't get over Cullen Bohannon in space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that Commander Pike to get introduced in the Discovery series, right? So, and it kind of ties a little bit there, not a lot, but a little bit there.
It's funny because then this means that Captain Pike is now connected to the Next Generation. Because both he and Chief, who is the chief on in the Next Generation, O'Shaughnessy or whatever his name was.
Captain Picard?
No, the chief engineer.
O'Brien or LaForge?
No. Who was the first one?
O'Brien.
Oh, is it O'Brien? Okay.
O'Brien. Chief O'Brien.
So yes, Captain. So Captain Pike and Chief O'Brien hung out in post-Civil War America, building a railroad via Hell on Wheels. So yeah, it's weird seeing Anson Mount without his long hair and beard. That's all I have to say.
But good series, and yeah, you should watch it, Matt. Yeah, I recommend it. It's a really good show.
Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Well, I was traveling last weekend. And I really wish I could have gotten video of me and Michael St. Michael's flying down the freeway in a Miata, in a new Miata with the top down.
Oh, how's the new Miata?
It's the first car that I realized I could not. Yeah. It's the first car that I've ever found that was too small for me. I like little cars. And my knees were literally in the dash. I couldn't put the top up because when the top was up, my head was touching it. It's a matter of just like 2 inches in each direction would have made it into an amazing car. Just small number.
I guess this car is just not made for you.
No, and it's a bummer because, which is funny because my buddy, just like the weekend before, was telling me he went to go buy one and they didn't have any in stock and he'd have to custom order it. Well, I want to say he's about the same height as me. We're pretty similar. And I texted him. I was like, dude, I said, did you ever test drive that? I said, make sure you test drive it because you're going to know right away. But no, I was just saying, my rant is that I didn't get any video of me and Michael St. Michael's cruising around Phoenix with top down because it had to have been an amazing sight to see. If you don't know who he is, go ahead and look him up. You can find him on IMDb. But many people know him as the Greasy Strangler. But yeah, I had a good time. In Glendale with hanging out with Sky Elabar, Michael St. Michael's, and a bunch of other people. Met a bunch of really cool people, including the dude that made the Michael Myers mask for the new Halloween movies, as well as the mask that Max wore in Stranger Things. Yeah, I guess season 3, she dressed up as Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
So her mask was a legit Michael Myers mask because it was made. I met the dude that befriended the guy that played Sinjanor. If you don't know Sinjanor, go look it up. He's a cool dude. And then I met a bunch of cool people and had a lot of fun. And we have added some people for movie party. So the movie party family is growing. We now have a bunch of people waiting to be guests as well.
Nice.
So
very cool. Excellent.
Yeah. It was a good weekend. Oh, and then I got to hang out with Del Noche and Sessian. So not to diminish that, but yeah, it was a good weekend. And Bad Weave, not sure where you are, but hope you're doing okay. On that point, I think we'd go ahead and wrap this up. And much like Bohannon in space, I don't think we belong here much longer. So we're going to end this. If you are watching this after the fact, come join us live. You get to participate in the chat. You get to submit titles which we will vote on in the post show. And yes, there is a post show that you are completely missing out on. Topic today that you are missing is how to convert anything into a party bus in one easy step. That is what we will be discussing. So,
does it have anything to do with a pole?
Oh, well, don't spoilers.
I'm hoping not.
But and also if you want, there's an audio version. It available wherever audio versions podcasts are available. But become a patron. You get the custom audio RSS feed. You get it almost immediately after we are done here, and very quickly and regularly. So, why don't we get on to the post show? Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. So, bye.
Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.